Bless the Lord.
Just coming up.
Yes.
All right. Hey, everyone.
What is going on?
Let's just wait a minute or so. See if people can jump on, see us live. Let us get ready. What's today? Thursday? Yeah.
It is Thursday.
All right. Okay. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I'm Angela.
And I'm Ron.
And we are Chatter of
Opinion.
Opinion. Today's going to be a fun one. Well, the next few weeks are going to be fun.
I guess.
Something different I wanted to do. So we're going to discuss the five love languages, which are very popular, especially here in the States. It was written by Gary Chapman. And from his first release, he has sold over 50 million copies and in almost 50 languages, I believe. So it's very popular. And I feel like when people first start dating, probably more women than men, they tend to be like, hey, let's find out what each other's love language is.
They should have added a sixth love language, which is silence.
That's
Just go.
whatever. Actually, there is possible 1 to 2 more love languages that people are predicting. We'll discuss that a little bit later. Okay, so love languages are principal value systems and how couples anticipate and communicate the expression of affection, right?
Okay.
So how is it that I express my affection to you? And how is it that I prefer for you to show your affection towards me?
Now, do guys generally show their affection or express their love languages though? Because normally women do, but guys sometimes have a hard time expressing themselves.
You do, but I feel like mature people
No, she did.
who care to evaluate their real feelings, which men don't do, or they don't do until they're older.
But then you talk about mature. A lot of people, when they're raised, they think that expressing yourself is like too sensitive, like you're soft. You see what I'm saying? Especially as a guy.
True. And there's some who overexpress.
Yeah.
Right? It is based off of just your upbringing, but based on all your background and things will determine what your preferred love language is.
All right.
And also, there are circumstances as to it changing.
Yes.
Right? Maybe as your life continues and maybe you have more experiences, or maybe you did come from a rough upbringing and you got lots of therapy or whatever the case, and you kind of are like, oh, okay, my love language was this, but only because of the crap that I went through. But now that I've evaluated and kind of got through that, this is how I prefer. So circumstances, I feel, can change, right?
Yes.
So me and Ron, when we did first start seeing each other, I don't know how soon into our relationship, though, that we did take it. But if I don't remember all of them, but I know at that time my primary one was touch.
Physical touch.
Yes. So real quick. Yeah. Yes, his was 2. So the 5 love languages are words of affirmation.
Explain that.
Okay, words of affirmation. Let me get my cheat sheet so I don't mess it up. Is when words build you up. You thrive on spoken affection, praise, encouragement, and compliments. Harsh words and criticism can bother you for a long time.
Okay.
Right? So that's words of affirmation.
So words of affirmation is pretty much is you need to be told that you're doing a good job, or
Yeah, I appreciate you.
or
Yes.
this, that, and the other.
So one example is while finishing up a meal that Pat made Chris, ironically, this is written in here. My sister and brother-in-law are Pat and Chris, but go figure. Okay, while finishing up a meal that Pat made, Chris says, "This was delicious. I really appreciate everything you do for our family, including making this lovely meal."
Okay.
Right? So words of affirmation. Okay, the next one is acts of service. Anything that your partner does willingly to ease your workload is a sign of love to you. You feel cared for when your partner vacuums before you get to it, or makes you breakfast as a surprise. On the other hand, broken promises or laziness can make you feel unimportant.
Okay.
So that's acts of service. The example is when Aiko goes to empty the dishwasher, they find that Omari has beat them to it, even though it was their turn.
Oh, so you pretty much do something to relieve,
lessen the load
okay,
of that person.
Okay. Then that's what, acts of service?
Acts of service.
All right.
Okay, next one is receiving gifts.
Oh,
This one, when you speak this love language, a thoughtful gift shows to you that you are special. In contrast, generic gifts and forgotten special events have the opposite effect. This love language isn't necessarily materialistic. It could be as simple as receiving your favorite snack after a bad day. It's just basically putting thought into a gift. Okay. An example of this is Carlos had a terrible day. When Marianne comes home after work, she gives Carlos a magazine he loves and his favorite kind of candy bar, which she picked up during her lunch hour to cheer him up.
Okay.
So something as simple as that.
So this ain't receiving like gifts, like I'm going to the store and buying you a present.
Well, again, there's levels, because some people could be like, no, give me the flowers, give me the expensive stuff.
Right.
It's based off of your partner.
Correct. It doesn't have to be materialistic.
Yeah, but some of it also says, I mean, there's, again, different perspectives from different people that some of it could be that's the way that they, right? And that person specifically wants Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, like a gift.
Correct. It just depends. All right. So, okay, next is quality time. Quality time is, to you, nothing says your love like individual attention. When your partner is truly present and not looking at their phone, it makes you feel important. Failure to actively listen or long periods without one-on-one time can make you feel unloved.
Yeah, because how many times have you been out to like a restaurant or something
and people are on their phones?
Yeah, both people on their phones. Like, you can't put your phone down for a couple of minutes just to enjoy each other's presence
for an hour.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I agree. So an example of quality time: Pete gives Suraj his full attention while Suraj tells him about his day. Pete's phone buzzes, but he doesn't pick it up or look at it.
It's kind of crazy now that every example of not paying attention
has to do with your phone.
To your phone.
I know,
we're social media.
We're really bad at it. And me personally, I feel like I have bouts of that. All right, last one is physical touch. Holding hands, kisses, hugs, and other touches are your preferred way to show and receive love. Appropriate touches convey warmth and safety, while physical neglect can drive a wedge between you and your partner.
Wow, what? What was that last part?
While physical neglect can drive a wedge between you and your partner.
All right, I can see that.
So the example of this is Maria and John are watching a movie. John pulls Maria close to him for a cuddle.
Where'd you get these names from? Because all of them look like Hispanic names.
No, there's the
Carlos. Who else?
There's
Maria.
where Siraj. That's not. Okay. Anyways, so that's a quick intro into each one.
So we got 5 love languages.
Yes.
Which is words of affirmation. We have acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch.
Yes. Okay. So when me and Ron we're new into our relationship. We took this quiz.
Mhm.
Both of us had what is it? Physical touch as our primary, right?
Correct.
So at that time, what do you feel that was when we took it? Like, did you agree with it? Like, yeah, I do like when you do this or that, or do you remember?
Because my thing has always been just like I don't think long distance relationships work because of you need that
Person
physical, you need that physical touch, and that's how I saw it. Like if you're there, I don't have to be on you like all the time, but I need that time to touch, to feel you, to you know. I guess set the
Just
mood.
be by you.
You see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter in what capacity. It doesn't always have to be like sex, but it's that time where you want to be close to someone. That's the physical touch to me. You could just be laying in bed and your leg is on me or my arm is on you or this, that, and the other.
My cold feet.
Either way, you know what I mean? Physical touch is always important.
So I was a little surprised, I remember being when yours was physical touch, because when Ron and I first got together, he, to me, was not a touchy. He wasn't a PDA person. He didn't even really hold my hand. That really kind of grew as like our relationship continued. Do you remember where you were like, I'm not used to that?
Yeah, I don't, yeah.
But yet his primary love language was physical touch. So what that told me was he preferred to be touched, but he was not good at giving it.
Whoa.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
Because when it came down to physical touch, like in public and stuff like that part of it.
That's what I'm saying. To me. PDA,
yeah, but in private, that part of it was meaningful to me. You see what I'm saying?
And it's funny because in public, I wanted to, even if it was just holding his hand. I liked that. Or we would go to church and he would put his hand behind me and just kind of like rub my back. Like that's the type of stuff I liked. Yes, we were in public, but he wasn't really like into that. And then whenever we would get into bed, I wasn't the touchy-feely one. I'm like, it's hot because he has body heat. And I'm like,
that's all that mammal underneath his shirt. That's all that mammal.
He was so hot. So my physical touch in bed wasn't there. But outside, so we were just total opposites. So now it's been quite a few years. We've been together almost 11 years now. And so I was like, hey, we're going to do these next few episodes based off the 5 love languages. Please take yours again and see if yours comes out, right? Okay. So I took mine, and now mine came out of acts of service as my primary at 30%.
Oh.
Yeah. And then quality time, and then physical touch, words of affirmation, and then receiving gifts is and look how much it went. 30% acts of service, quality time 23, physical touch 23, words of affirmation 20. Like they're all in the 20s, 30s. Receiving gifts 3%. I could care less.
Yeah.
I don't care if you buy me something. Everything else is more important. Do you remember what yours were?
Yeah, I don't know the percentages unless I bring it up, but my number 1 was quality time. And then I went to physical touch, probably acts of
service, and then words of affirmation and receiving gifts. Correct. I think was yours.
And mine changed because, excuse me, quality time. If you look at life now and the people around you and the people that are no longer around you, you can't get that time back. So if you ask anyone that has lost someone, time is very precious. You know what I mean? All this other stuff that we have going on in life, to me, is really not important when it comes to someone's presence. So the quality time, to me, has really taken the forefront when it comes to me thinking about the individuals around me. No. You wish you could spend, when you lose somebody, you wish you had that time to spend with them. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter what we are doing. As long as you're spending time with somebody that you care about or someone that you love and so forth, that is more important than anything else.
I agree. It is very important. Also, too, guys, I believe when Ron posted our precursor to our podcast, he put a link. So if you're interested in taking the quiz, please do so. It may help you in the next few weeks to kind of associate with what we're talking about.
Right.
So please do that. But yes, I agree. Quality time is very important. That was my second one. I think the reason my acts of service is most important right now, I think after my mom got sick and then passed, I really just needed help. Right. And so I think now that has come to the forefront for me. I feel very uneasy right now. I think just because of the things that we went through with my mom, that I feel like I can never get my house clean enough. I can never, get these projects done, things like that. And Ron is really great at taking a lot of load off of me, but not only taking it because I ask, but what's the word? Being proactive.
Right.
Sometimes I'll come home and Ron's like, hey, I already swept, mopped, and dusted. I'm like, oh, why did you do that? Because I know you would have tried to do it this weekend. That, speaks to me. Love it. So he's very good at doing that.
Yeah, because it's no one's particular job. You know what I mean? This is not gender roles. It's if it needs to be done and then I can relieve some pressure, not only on you, but on myself too, then I might as well go ahead and take care of it. Because I know come Saturday, I'm here watching some sports and you'd be like, hey.
Yeah, so you did have a kind of an alignment or like a, what is the word? Reasoning, a personal reason, yes, for doing it. But no matter what, it still helped me, right? And plus, I'm one of those people who never sit down. It's like something's always dirty, something always needs to be done.
It's never dirty. But it is
anyways,
what it is,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
I appreciate him. And so, yes, words of affirmation. Yeah. Not words of affirmation. Sorry. Acts of service.
Acts of service, like I said, is when you're in a relationship, you have to realize what's important, what's going on around you. If your significant other is stressing or they're busy doing something, pick up the load and do something else. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you know that dinner needs to be done, don't wait for your significant other to cook when they have 20 other things that's going on. Laundry needs to be done. Don't sit back when you are 100% capable of doing it. Take care of it to relieve the stress, because later on down the line, it's going to benefit you. You don't want the person to be stressed in life about what they have going on and then stressed about the household chores and stuff like that.
Well, also, if you think about it, because your primary is quality time, by him helping me do these things, that will allow me to free up some of my time to give him the quality time that he wants. Like, hey, let's sit and watch a movie. Well, if he hadn't done some of those things to ease up my schedule, then I wouldn't have been able to provide him that quality time that he wants. Would you agree with that?
Yeah,
that
correct.
It helps out.
And like I said, when you're in a relationship, you have a partnership. So that partnership is not one person does everything and then the guy sits back. You know what I mean? I live in this house too, so it's a part of my job to make sure that the dishes are done, the food is cooked, the house is clean and whatnot. I should never have to sit back and wait for you to do something that I'm capable of doing.
But even so recently I started a project in our courtyard, and it's been more aesthetics more than like cleaning or anything like that. And it was more of like a summer project that I wanted to get ready for, the warm weather. And so I've been working on this thing for literally almost 2.5 months. Well, during that time, Ron took over the rest of my list that I still would have had to do after I finished the courtyard, like sanding our other chairs, putting a clear coat on our waterfall, things like that. So that again really helped me out and relieved my stress of having this list of him doing these other tasks that we had both agreed need to be done during the summer while I've been busy with that. And again, by the time I'm done with the courtyard, I now don't have to also do those things. He has really alleviated that from me. So love it. Like that is, speaks to my heart. All right. So Tiffany, you said same girl. What do you mean on that part? And then So Chapo Granado, what do you mean by that? And yes, OMG. I need more detail, girl. I need more detail.
Yes.
I'm assuming that maybe something I said you can relate to for yourself, and maybe something that Ron said you can relate to Chapo.
Because Maria Rivera said the same thing. He said it right. It's not just one person's job. We all live there. And that's correct. No matter if it's me, the children, if you have kids and whatnot, everyone should be involved. The pressure of keeping your house maintained should not be on one person, period.
I agree. I get so frustrated when I see people post nowadays, and a lot of stuff does fall on the women, and the men just have such different expectations, and they're kind of oblivious.
Yeah, well, sometimes
and it's really hard.
A lot of people, and I think we did this before, or we discussed it before. A lot of people are in relationships where there are gender roles.
Mhm.
Like there's dominant men that think a woman should do X, Y, and Z. And no matter if they come home at noon and dishes are piled up and you don't get up till 5, they will not touch those dishes. It's your responsibility to wash the dishes. And I just don't feel that way.
Yeah, but that's where the communication comes in, and setting and communicating your standards.
Probably so.
You know?
Probably so.
I think if someone gets in that type of relationship, it's their fault that they didn't say, look, I know that I stay home with the kids, or I know this and that, but I'm sorry, I also need my me time, or I also don't want to be the maid. I don't mind upkeeping the home while I'm here, but I don't want the expectation to fall on me that the house needs to be cleaned by me.
Yeah, but sometimes it's people stand up and say that after it's like too late.
Exactly. So that was one of our big things in that podcast, was communicate up front.
Yeah.
Don't be like, oh, I want to, give him all the wifey duties, but then after a while you're like, this is BS. I don't want to always be the one to clean the bathrooms and to clean the whole house and to take care of the kids and do the homework and everything.
Right.
Like, I just don't want to do that. But sometimes, unfortunately, people realize when it's too late,
right,
and they're frustrated. So, okay. So, there's been a lot of research on this book, both, leaning towards, yes, everything he says is pretty close, and others that don't quite agree with it. So a few of the things that I came across is the limitations of the 5 languages model. So a few things to note is the 5 love languages are directed towards heterosexual spouses.
Wow.
That's just what he based it off of.
Okay.
Right. And so we have to keep that in mind.
Okay.
That's really kind of what this book was based on, was heterosexual spouses.
Which I kind of disagree, because your feelings are your feelings. It doesn't matter if you are same sex or not. My feelings are if I like words of affirmation, no matter if I'm 2 females or not, that's my love language.
Maybe. I'm just stating what this says, the limitations. It also says the nature and language is heteronormative, and gender stereotypes are sometimes used, meaning maybe women are normally responsible for, cleaning up, blah, blah, blah. So men call that as acts of service. I know you love me. I like when I come home and my house is clean and you take care of the kids and you this and you that. Right? Let's see. Love languages may not be enough to address relationship problems.
True.
Right? It's just something fun that, granted, he actually was a, not a priest. What do they call him?
Pastor.
Is it a pastor?
Was he in the church?
Yeah.
A pastor.
Pastor. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, pastor. The model may be too simplistic and broad, lacking nuance and not adequately addressing things like trauma, attachment, style, or other major influences. Again, to me, this is more of a fun thing. Like, it allows you to get a basis, but yes, there may be some underlying issues. Like I said, also things could change based on just your growth as a person, or just as you get older and your experiences and such.
And some of that, what you just read about the relationship problems, I know it's not going to solve every
Mhm.
problem, but it could be a entry into the doorway
Totally.
of what's going on.
I
Like,
totally agree.
if I keep on showering you with gifts and you don't want these gifts, all you just want is my
Is
time.
my time.
Then
It
of
may
course.
open up the door
Yeah, it should.
to conversations
It could.
and actions.
Yeah, like why are you always trying to buy me out? You know what I mean? When all I need is a few minutes of your time. You
Right.
know what I mean? So
No,
it
I
could
totally
help on
agree.
some relationship issues.
That's true. It just says more counseling may be needed, potentially using the love languages as a tool.
Okay.
So using the love languages as a tool,
Right.
but may not be like a way to get counseling type thing. It has the potential to be misused, such as a person demanding their partner engage in behaviors or activities they are not comfortable with in order to prove their love, or making the other person feel guilty for not doing so.
You better buy me that purse.
You
If
better
you don't buy me that purse, then you don't love me.
You better touch me.
Oh, yeah. Better get on this real quick.
Yup.
You don't get on this, you don't
Babe.
love me. But that's what it's saying right
That
there.
was a little aggressive.
Yeah.
The love languages are based on American norms that don't always translate to other cultures. For example, in some cultures, gift giving can be viewed as buying affection, and public displays of affection are taboo in some cultures.
Oh,
so I just wanted to state that because we may have a variety of people who watch our podcasts, and so I just wanted to make that clear.
And I'm curious too, when you guys are watching the ones that are on here right now, what are your love languages, or what love languages do you think that you have out of the 5 that we have named? Just throw it out there. What do you think your love language is?
Yeah, Tiffany, if you're still on, I'm going to put you on the spot. What do you feel your love language is, and what do you feel Chapo's is?
Right, or anyone that's on here, what is your love language? Chime in and let us know what your love language is.
So also a little bit more research is couples seem to be more satisfied when both of your primary love languages are the same. So if yours is receiving gifts and mine is receiving gifts, then they say it tends to like work out better, that we're both more satisfied. Or if it's physical touch and we're all over each other all the time, maybe that works for us. So the research shows that if we're both in alliance with that, it tends to just make us both more satisfied.
And if yours is receiving a gift and mine is physical touch, I'll just put a bow on myself.
Oh my God.
Right? And then I'm the gift, and then you touch me, and then we both satisfied. No?
Why don't you try that and see if it works? Another part of the research said that if couples don't have the same love language, but are both invested in providing care by means of their partner's primary love language, that they can still have a successful relationship. Meaning, I may be quality time, you may be receiving gifts, but if we both act towards and have that ability to be like, I know that I don't care for gifts, but I know you are, I'm going to make that effort to bring you home a candy, or, give you little gifts here and there, or whatever the case, because I know that that's your love language.
Yeah, but it's a part of understanding your partner too.
Yeah, totally.
You got to understand what your partner's love language is to cater towards your partner's love language.
I agree. So Crystal says mine have actually changed over the years. Yes. I agree, Crystal.
So what is yours now, Crystal?
I want to know what yours was before and what yours is now. I feel like I know what your now is. I feel like this came up in conversation recently, but I don't know what your one before would have been. I feel like it might have been receiving gifts back in the day.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I'm guessing, but let's see if she says.
Yeah, because I always thought receiving gifts was about like materialistic things.
It's
I
not
never,
always.
yeah, I never looked at it
You
in
could
any
like,
other way.
hey babe, I picked you this flower. It was in the neighbor's yard, but it was beautiful and I, wanted to give it to you. Let's see. Crystal says, at first, mine were acts of service and gifts. Oh, see, that's what I thought yours was currently. Now, mine are acts of service and words of affirmation.
Oh.
Patrick's are physical touch and quality time.
Yeah, Patrick, Team Patrick.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I'm Team Patrick.
And what was yours? Quality time and physical touch was your second one?
Her two is
Oh.
not even
Close to Patrick's. Right.
At least one of ours is matched,
so
correct?
yes. Our
Yeah.
second one, wait.
It's quality time, right?
Your primary is quality time. My second one is quality time.
Right.
Yes.
So
we
top
kind of,
two
yeah.
there.
So how do you guys, Crystal, how do you guys work with each other to make sure you're giving each other what the other craves?
Yeah, so Patrick says, Crystal, I really love you. Here are these flowers. And she says, wait till tonight.
Yeah.
Right? It has to be that way.
No, wait, because you're saying flowers. Hers isn't.
I thought
gifts.
She said gifts.
That was originally.
Oh, what is it now?
Now it's acts of service and words of affirmation.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Crystal said her third would be quality time.
All right.
Exactly. She says exactly.
I think quality time is important, but you know what I mean? If that's your love language, and that's how people, can show that they love you by, telling you and showing you as far as with gifts or things like that, then so be it. Everyone's different. Everyone gets turned on by different things. So I can understand that.
To me, though, the love languages, even if you guys don't share the primary one, I really believe that the importance is that you are invested in trying to provide your partner with the care and love that they prefer.
Okay, so here's a question for you and for anybody else. Like, if I didn't take this test as far as my love languages and let you know what my answers were, would you have known which one of these were mine?
No, because remember when you told me yours was quality time, I was like, oh, I'm kind of surprised by that. Now.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Even before, would you have even known?
Well, the thing is Ron isn't big at vocalizing his feelings or the way he feels. And so sometimes I'm not good at guessing. I'm oblivious sometimes. And so for him to have come out and said that totally helps me. Whereas before, he wouldn't be like, I'm lying. He has more, because I was one where we would be sitting there watching a movie, but I would be on my phone. And he would be like, babe, put your phone down. Right? So that was like your way of communicating to me, but I wasn't catching on to that.
Okay.
Right? So now that you've told me, I can actually mentally and on purpose make the effort.
Yeah, like you can be on your phone. I don't mind, because I know social media is important to a lot of people. But if we're doing something like we're watching a movie, it's movie night for us. It's date night. We're at a restaurant.
Yeah,
that and the other.
I feel like we're good at date night. We don't really get on our phone.
Yeah, just don't be on your phone. You know what I mean? Whatever you're looking at now, you could look at after we get done with spending our quality time with each other.
Okay, I have to dig on him though. He's like, babe, let's watch a movie, as he falls asleep.
I'm still there. I'm still present. Hello.
I could have gone up and not been there.
So when I fall asleep, get on your phone.
I do that. And then you wake up and you're like,
because we be watching some bull, you know what I mean?
Stop.
We put on a movie, man. It's a straight dub. Within the first 5 minutes, I'm out. You know what I mean? I'm 50. I'm old. I can't be sitting there watching no stupid movie. I ain't wasting my time. But I'm spending quality time with you because I'm in your presence. No. You don't see it that way?
No,
Well, that's-
especially when it's scary movies.
Okay.
So thank you. Anyways, guys, we'll probably keep it short on this one. We just wanted to do a quick overview of what the 5 love languages are.
Which is, once again,
Words of affirmation,
acts of service,
receiving gifts,
quality time,
and physical touch.
yes.
So in the next few weeks, we're gonna is it zero in or narrow in?
Both.
Narrow in, focus. We're gonna focus on each
love
individual one. So we would appreciate if you guys take this love language quiz, even if you're not in a relationship. You still, as a person, associate with this is the way I receive love, no matter if you're in a current relationship or not.
Right.
Take the quiz. It is on the prior post that before our live. There's a link to it. You can take the quiz. So then each week we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna dig more into each one and hopefully have more conversations and try to help each other out.
Because I would be curious. Like I said, I took this test a few times and I was very surprised. Well, I can't say I was surprised, but
you were just not into it. Like you didn't see I
didn't see the benefit of
the
taking
validity
this test.
of it.
Yeah, but when I actually took the test and I got the results, I'm just like, okay, that is me. I can see myself being this.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take too long. I think it's like 20 questions, maybe.
It's not long at all.
Yeah, just take the 20 questions and then see what your partner is, what their love languages are as well. You know what I mean? You never know. Sometimes you think you know your partner and what makes them strive when it comes to you, but you never know.
And it gives you a quick, I don't know if you guys can see this, see the percentages. It just gives you a quick detail of each one and how you rated. So please take that quiz if you haven't already. Join us for the next few weeks. I think it'll be fun. We may not, normally our podcasts are normally about an hour. I don't know if each one will allot the whole hour, but we really want to dig into each one and get your guys' opinions, especially if you relate to that specific love language for the week. We'd love for you guys to chime in and give us your insights.
Yes. And even off of here, if you guys are watching this after the fact, chime in, like I said, and let us know what your love language is. Or right now, if you haven't taken a test, chime in and let us know what you think your love language is. And then
that's a good one.
After you take the test, come back and say, hey, you know what? I thought I was this. However, the test says
I'm this. Yeah, that's true. You, what is it? Not associate. What is it that they're doing right now that?
Identify.
I identify as.
I identify
receiving gifts, but
what's more important to me is quality time.
Correct.
So forth. So I'll be curious to know what you guys' love language is, and if you're in a relationship, what do you think your partner's love language is, and then have them
based on their actions and I agree. It'll be fun.
Yeah, see what their love language actually is without you trying to guess what it is.
Yeah, I agree.
But all right, that we covered today was the intro to a series on the 5 love languages. Once again, it's words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. Which one are you? Make sure that you take that test, or like I said, you chime in and let us know what you think you are before you take the test. And then afterwards, we'll discuss what you really are.
Yes.
Until that time, I would have a discussion with your significant other and ask them what they think they are. You know what I mean? Because you never know.
Or ask them to take the quiz like I did this guy.
Right. Like I said, you might be showering your significant other with gifts when they don't want that.
They just want you to be there. I think of like doctors or lawyers. I always see, and this may be stereotypical and, but on TV or movies, I do always see because they are always busy and, not with their families, they tend to compensate by giving their significant other gifts, expensive gifts and stuff. But really, they're like, I don't want that. I want you to come home and spend time with me.
And not just that, when you have, or you're in a relationship with someone that might be a little materialistic or this, that, and the other, you might feel as though I need to just buy this person something. If I'm in a doghouse, I'll just buy this person something. You see what I'm saying?
Instead of resolving.
Correct.
That's true.
And maybe they don't want that. Maybe they just need you to, be present. Maybe they just need you to be there.
That's true.
Or touch them, or give them a hug or something like that.
Very true. Yeah.
So it's best just to communicate and find out what your significant other is into is a good way to try to figure that out.
It's
Maybe
a
you're going
good
about
tool.
it the wrong way. Yeah.
Right.
Maybe
Good
you're
tool.
going about it the wrong way. Maybe you're looking too deep into it when that's not exactly what
They're trying to tell you what they want.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyways, until next week, guys, we hope you guys have a great weekend.
Yes.
Happy Father's Day
Happy
on
Father's
Sunday
Day.
to all you fathers out there or
Yes.
acting fathers.
Either way, yes. Happy Father's Day to you guys. It's a 3-day weekend for a lot of individuals, not just Father's Day, but Juneteenth as well.
Yep.
So if you guys are out there partaking in alcoholic beverages, just make sure that you be safe and you have a plan. So until next time, I really appreciate the support, and we appreciate the support that you guys have been giving us.
Yes.
Thanks everyone for chiming in. We shall holler at you next Thursday.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Peace.